We're here to talk about a concept called financial literacy. Financial literacy is very important. It's something that we don't necessarily get taught in school. It's something that we don't necessarily learn on our own, and the lack of financial literacy in our society is very telling.
If 99 out of 100 people took a test and failed the test on a very important subject, financial literacy, would we be concerned about that? Because that's where the United States and really the world is at. 99 out of 100 people are not financially free, and it's due to financial literacy. You take a look at the bankruptcies, you take a look at the relationships destroyed, divorces, all of these things occurring due to the lack of financial literacy. This is a vital subject and one that's neglected in culture today, and it's time for that to change.
In 1999, there was a movie called The Matrix. It was a very popular movie, and the concept was that everybody was connected in their minds to a computer program that made them think they were living a real life when actually they were just being used to harvest. The machines were harvesting their electricity, but they were being made to think that they were living a real life. And we've used the term matrix, a financial matrix, because there's so much that goes on in the financial world. And lots of people begin to feel that the deck is stacked against them, that they're playing a game that maybe it's rigged a little bit, and without it being a conspiracy theory, it doesn't really need to be a conspiracy. It's just set up where people profit from others not knowing the basics of financial literacy. The term matrix is interesting because it's also a mathematical term. Orrin and I were both engineers in a previous life, and man, we were taught to work math problems, and one of those types of mathematics is a matrix, where you can have a 2x2, a 3x3, a 4x4, and you can describe the financial condition of most people. You can kind of throw a net and take in almost all of us with a 2x2 matrix. Here's a quick video to explain the financial matrix.
En el lado izquierdo tenemos educación financiera, con dos filas que representan dos posibilidades, sí y no. Es sorprendente ver el poco énfasis que se le da a la educación financiera en nuestra sociedad. El dinero siempre es un tema popular. Las personas a menudo luchan con sus finanzas, pero la educación financiera real es casi inexistente en nuestros sistemas escolares y está prácticamente ausente en nuestras vidas personales. El Atlantic declaró que menos de un tercio de los estadounidenses podrían aprobar una simple prueba de preguntas directas relacionadas con las finanzas personales. Go Banking Rates informó que casi la mitad de los hogares en los Estados Unidos tenían menos de $500 en ahorro. El programa de solvencia financiera está diseñado para abordar este gran problema. Enseña la ofensiva, la defensiva y el campo de juego de las finanzas personales, mientras ofrece herramientas y asistencia continua en la implementación de los principios enseñados. Le brinda a las personas la oportunidad de entender el asunto del dinero, comprender las fuerzas que trabajan en su contra y, más importante aún, hacer algo al respecto. Este programa galardonado ha ayudado a miles a salir de deudas, mantenerse sin deudas y aprender a prosperar en cualquier economía.
Bueno, antes de que conocieran la solvencia financiera, todo era un desastre por todos lados.
Este es un producto educativo, que al mismo tiempo que te está educando, te está pagando.
En la parte superior tenemos iniciativa empresarial. Una de las formas más poderosas de ofensiva financiera proviene de ser dueños de una empresa. Además, las leyes de impuestos de la mayoría de los países tratan los ingresos que provienen de la empresa privada mucho más favorable que los obtenidos como empleados. Esto se debe a que los gobiernos saben que el crecimiento empresarial es el alma de cualquier economía y debe fomentarse. Esto proporciona un gran beneficio para el dueño de la empresa. El cuadrante inferior izquierdo muestra un no en educación financiera y un no en iniciativa empresarial. A este cuadrante podríamos llamarle de cheque en cheque, porque hay una falta total de educación sobre cómo manejar, mantener y acumular dinero. Y al mismo tiempo no hay una iniciativa empresarial que aporte más, con las posibilidades ilimitadas que ofrece tener negocio propio. El Departamento de Estadísticas Anuales de Trabajo de Estados Unidos dice: el empleado promedio en este cuadrante recibirá algunos aumentos salariales básicos en los primeros años de una carrera, pero las cosas se estabilizarán y se mantendrán básicamente fijas hasta la jubilación, cuando deberá vivir con la mitad o una tercia parte de lo que ganaba mientras estaba empleado. El cuadrante inferior derecho representa a la persona que opera una empresa comercial exitosa. En esencia tiene un método para generar grandes cantidades de ingresos, pero aún no tiene conocimientos financieros y por lo tanto no sabe cómo conservarlo. A este cuadrante le llamamos auge y caída. Esta es una situación muy común entre los empresarios, que viven estilos de vida sofisticados durante una temporada, pero lo pierden todo en la próxima, en un péndulo que va de extremo a extremo entre abundancia y necesidad. Considera a los jugadores de la Liga Nacional de Fútbol bien pagados, que de acuerdo con Sports Illustrated, en promedio firman contratos anuales con un valor de más de $1 millón. Dentro de solo 2 años de retirarse de la liga, el 78% están en bancarrota o en una gran dificultad financiera. La historia de los jugadores profesionales de fútbol no es única, incluso es más común entre los propietarios de negocio. La mayoría de nosotros conocemos gente de negocio en nuestras comunidades que tenían grandes casas, autos nuevos y un gran estilo de vida solo para perderlo en una calamidad financiera. En el cuadrante superior izquierdo están las personas que han desarrollado conocimientos financieros, pero que no tienen la capacidad que un dueño de negocios tiene de multiplicar ingresos y maximizar sus situaciones de impuestos. Este cuadrante se denomina seguridad financiera. Una persona en este cuadrante experimenta los beneficios de una educación financiera sólida. Son disciplinados para mantenerse sin deudas, conservar más de lo que han ganado y a menudo aumentar constantemente sus ganancias anuales. La persona con seguridad financiera ha creado una red de protección financiera que sin duda proporciona un nivel de comodidad y seguridad. La persona con libertad financiera tiene ambas cosas: conocimientos financieros y la capacidad de multiplicar los ingresos y maximizar las ventajas de impuestos a través de la propiedad empresarial personal. Esta combinación óptima lleva a que esas personas realmente puedan vivir las vidas que siempre han querido, con el dinero, el tiempo, la seguridad y las elecciones necesarias para vivir una vida sin límites. Pero muy pocas personas llegan a este cuadrante, ya sea porque no desarrollan la educación financiera o porque no pueden descubrir la ruta para llevar adelante un negocio exitoso, lo que en realidad es muy difícil. Mientras que esto es simple de entender, no es fácil de implementar. De hecho, la mayoría de los empresarios se ven obligados a renunciar a la seguridad financiera con el fin de buscar oportunidades, lo que explica la oscilación del péndulo entre la abundancia y la necesidad que discutimos anteriormente. Pero con la combinación única de conocimientos financieros adquiridos a través del programa de solvencia financiera y el tipo de emprendimiento adecuado, uno puede dar el salto hacia la libertad financiera.
The Financial Fitness Program, we feel, is very special because it covers all 3 areas of personal finance. It covers the offense, which is bringing in more money. It covers the defense, which is being better at keeping what you make. And it covers the playing field, the matrix, that computer program in the movie, the financial situation in which we live, that you have to be aware of interest rates and compound interest and the fact that you can become your own best asset or your own worst liability. You have to know the game that you're playing, understand the rules of that game so that you can prosper. And so we teach the offense, defense, and playing field of personal finance, and that's very important. So as we go through the financial fitness program, as you dig into these things, and I know you've probably had this happen where you have good intentions in your life. Now you've bought the financial fitness program, you have a good intention. Boy, we're going to do it this time. We're going to get our financial act together. We're going to learn the offense. We're going to apply the defense. We're going to understand the playing field. We're going to finally learn financial literacy. And we have these high intentions, and if you're like me, you've dropped a lot of those along the way in your life. There was a time I was going to do this, or I was going to do that, and we kind of let those go. What we need is to lock ourselves in at the moment of peak intensity or inspiration where we have a really good intention. Find a way to lock ourselves in there. You've purchased the program, maybe you've subscribed to some of our products, and then over time then, our community and our reinforcement of read, listen, associate, and then helping you take action steps through the plan, do, check, and adjust strategy, those will keep you locked in at that good intention and let you apply that over time so the power of time and compounding can start to work for you. That's the purpose of the overall financial fitness program. It's not an individual product. This isn't just talking about getting out of debt. We're going to also talk about the exciting side of learning how to go on offense and bring in a lot more income, but we're also going to teach you how to prosper across all 3 categories by the program and what it does to continually reinforce what you're going to be learning for your financial fitness. So congratulations for getting a hold of the Financial Fitness Program. If you're brand new to it, your assignment is to dig into those materials, take a look at those initial materials, and start to take those action steps that are taught at the beginning of that first book.
For most of you, the first action step is to determine where you are on the financial matrix quadrants. When you determine which quadrant you're in, then we can develop a step-by-step plan specifically for you to help you move from that suboptimized quadrant into financial freedom.
We talked about how each of us have lived at various parts in that quadrant. Figure out where you are, because your starting point is very important. For instance, if you're up in the tightwad quadrant, what are some of the first moves?
We're going to need to help you move into the offensive category. We're going to really focus on read, listen, associate, and the plan, do, check, and adjust, that action step, in order to move you into further offense so that you start making more money and start to be able to live your dreams without going into debt.
And if you're down in the status quadrant, what are the steps for them?
Well, certainly we're going to be reading, listen, and associate. We're constantly going to be improving your skills. However, if you're in the status quadrant, you're probably already making some decent money. Now we just got to teach you to save some of that money, so allow that money to start compounding for you so you can enjoy all of the skills that you develop with a financially free lifestyle.
And those that are really struggling in that broke quadrant, what do they do?
Well, as you said, they were the ones that kind of have given up. So we're going to help you get up. We're going to teach you defense and offense. We're going to start working a specific plan on, let's get you making more money. Let's get you reading, listening, associating, starting to fill yourself with hope again that you can win here financially. And then as we start helping you win financially, help you save some of that money so that you move from the broke, from worst to first. You move from the broke quadrant to financial freedom.
And this process is a lot of fun as you start to make those moves out of whatever quadrant you live in now and you head toward that financially independent upper right-hand quadrant. This is a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy the process. So dig into the materials and start progressing towards financial fitness today.